at various issues and resolutions were led out this afternoon. Later in the day today, from around 1 o'clock, we were then scheduled to have our People's Baraza at Mafoko, and we had a very successful meeting that we have just finished. So those of us you are seeing here are people who are part of that meeting. We have just come from Mafoko to try and talk about the issues that are concerning Kenyans. But I think there are also a few things that we need to clarify, arising from developments that may have come from some quarters that are quite unfamiliar. Let me just start by saying something that is clear to us. Jubilee Party was formed and founded by His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the former head of state or the former president of this republic. We have a functioning constitution that guides us as to what we can do and how and who. We have very many party organs provided for in the constitution. And one of the party organs that is provided for is called the National Executive Committee. The National Executive Committee is provided for in our constitution and can only be convened by 2 people or 2 officials of the party. One of the officials who can convene the organ is the party leader. The other person who is mandated by the constitution to convene such an organ is the Secretary General. Any other meeting convened by others outside the 2 party officials that I have mentioned is of no legal consequence. Secondly, where we are the Jubilee headquarters, the offices of the Jubilee Party. We moved here maybe a week or 2 ago. If there are any party activities that needs to be conducted, they are conducted within these premises. Thirdly, Jubilee Party, during his NDC on the 26th of February last year, resolved to be part of Azimio. We resolved that we were not going to have a presidential candidate. Our presidential candidate was going to be Raila Amolo Odinga under Azimio coalition ticket. Jubilee was not going to field a presidential candidate. We are members of Azimio today, and that is why we were at Manzoni, and that is why we have just come from the Mafokolari. You have seen us in Kamukuji, Jacaranda, and even Kibla. And we are heading to Busia, we are heading to Kisii, we will be in Narok as scheduled by our Azimio party leader. But just to put a few things into context, June 2020, a section of the Jubilee then, now members of UDA, attempted to form a Jubilee Asili. They attempted to take over Jubilee, and they did not succeed. They went ahead to even try and form Jubilee Asili, and they had even some fake premises somewhere. It never went anywhere. These attempts will always be there, because there are those people who not want to identify with the course that we have taken, the course we took, and we have taken and we remain faithful to. And that is the cause of the Azimio coalition, where we are saying that we have an illegitimate regime in office, for the reason that the votes that we garnered under the leadership of Raila Amolo Odinga were 8.1 million votes. The ones that were gotten by William Ruto, 5.9 million votes. Those figures were confirmed to us, and I want you to mark the word confirmed. Confirmed to us by the whistleblower. We always knew we won. And that is why we went to challenge the results at the Supreme Court. And it is still amazing that in a board or a commission of 7 people, you will go with a decision of 3 and ignore the decision of the majority, the 4. And those are some of the reasons why it is not possible for us to recognize this government. And we in Jubilee, we are part of the Azimio resolution that resolved, and even today, those resolutions were read at Mafoko, that we will not recognize this regime because they are in office illegitimately after having won the elections, after having stolen the vote and gotten into State House. We now are on a course to fight for the socio-economic justice of the people of Kenya. The cost of living has just gone beyond many of Kenyans within 5 months. We've seen a decline of many things in a manner that even when we were campaigning, none of us imagined it. You are witnesses that after leaving office last year in the month of, talk about August, but the handing over was done in the month of September. The results of our examinations were released, and clearly they have been tampered with. Something we have not seen for the last 9-8 years. The cost of fuel through the ceiling. Cost of food through the ceiling. Criminal justice system collapsing on a daily basis. People who have been working in the civil service being sacked left, right, and center. Career civil servants have been put off their careers. And individuals with criminal backgrounds are the ones now reigning in this country. As a party, we will not allow Kenyans to be mistreated, mismanaged. We will not allow Kenyans to go without being heard. We will not allow them to suffer alone. This is a cause we have identified. We identified the solutions that we needed to put on the table, given the difficult times that we are in as a country and as a globe. We didn't get that opportunity because of the steal. We will continue pushing this regime. 1, they should leave the offices that they occupy because they are not in them legitimate. 2, measures to help the livelihood of Kenyans must be put in place and urgently. It's only today that they kicked out the Packrats vendors. Those are the mama bogas. Na wakapigwa na tear gas. Kule Kamai, thousands of people are now fearful of the day their houses will come to be demolished because they had been allowed to reside and have those pieces of land next to Kenyatta University, next to the referral hospital by the Jubilee government. But this government came and reversed, and those people must now be evicted in a minute. Their houses will be demolished. We will start with those people. That is what is scaring the Huda government, the Huda regime, the guys in office illegitimately. And they are going to do everything on earth to ensure that any party that does not agree to abide by what they say and dictate is crushed. This is yet another of their attempts.